opportunities. He's mixing around at a couple of positions, and he's going to make this decision tough for us.
Some of your veterans have said that with Brock, that one of the benefits of him having the full off season is his voice has gotten even stronger and more leadership. Have you noticed that, and in what ways can it benefit him to maybe have more command?
I just think when you've done what you've done on the field, it's always easier. I mean, I don't care how you are, no matter what type of leader or how you want to command or demand things from people. If you haven't had much success on the field, that doesn't last very long. And he did that as a rookie, but then he was so caught off just trying to come back from his injury. Now, after having a second year in where he had an unbelievable year, he's in a much more natural position to do it. I think he does do it naturally, but the team, based off of what he's done, he's earned their respect on the field, and they know him as a guy inside and out, and no one respects him more as a person than how much they respect Brock.
Brock has talked about seeing the offense the way you see it. He wants to get to that point. Acknowledge it's not there yet, but like understanding like the why of a play call, like maybe in the moment. Like, what are we trying to get? Set up a third man before? Are we trying to make this happen? Where do you see in that process? And he's going into his third season. I mean, you have the potential to have a pretty long partnership with him. Are you excited about see where he can get in this offense eventually?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I was so excited with how he did right away. Just when we got him on the field with his few reps, and then what he did in his rookie year was so exciting. And watching him overcome injury was unbelievable last year. So he's got enough tape out there that everyone has a good grasp of what Brock is, and that's a very good quarterback. And the way he's built, the way his mind works, the way he works at things, how humble he is. Usually anyone in those situations only gets better with reps and being in more situations. And, everyone wants to learn it or know it like the coach does, but the coaches only know it because we've been doing it for a long time, and we sit in that room in a chair and with a slow motion remote and get to go over stuff all the time. And players don't get to do that all the time. They got to go work on being an athlete and doing stuff on the field, and it's not just all the mind. They got to work on the physical aspect of the game. So you always hope that they can count on the coach to help bridge that gap, but especially with the quarterbacks. I mean, it's always good to know a lot. Sometimes knowing a lot doesn't always help. Too many of the what ifs, and I have a scar on almost every single play. We've done it long enough. You give the quarterback all those scars that you have as a play caller, they might never throw the ball. Watch out, this could happen, this could happen. So it's kind of on a need-to-know basis to help them be the most successful, but the more they play, the more they learn, because eventually you do need to know all that stuff, and it's about how you handle it, and Brock's handled it very well.
The three rookie offensive linemen all have good numbers. Does the film show the same thing? And what do you see? Do you like the competition on that offensive line for the backups?
When you say numbers, you mean like their jersey numbers?
Well, they're not giving up like no pressures and very few pressures and snaps.
Yeah, I think the competition there has been very good. Just comparing it to other years in the past, I think we're deeper there. I think guys who have been around here, who whether it's practice squads or the last guys on the roster who haven't started much, I think those guys have all gone better. And the more you can do that, obviously the better these guys get. But there's no harder position to develop than O-line, because you get better at O-line by playing football. And the O-line, really, that's been taken away from them in the offseason. So I think those guys get hurt the most, which is how offseason rules go. Training camp's so much faster, so they always are behind on it. And college football O-line play is night and day different. I'd say like 95% of the schools than NFL O-line play. So it's really a tough deal for those guys. But if they can hang in long enough, whether it's the last guy on the roster, whether it's practice squad, if they're made of the right stuff, and they have the ability, all those guys usually do get better. But it's very tough with their timeline.
Chris is so adamant and borderline obsessive about reps and how important reps are and practicing and being out there. For him to not be out there, how does he get to week one to be himself?
Well, that's what's good when you're that obsessive about everything. I mean, when you're hurt, you're hurt. You can't go. But when you take every rep, every walkthrough, everything you do, you're just so deliberate in everything. When he's probably walking down the aisle to get married, he's probably thinking about his feet and how to do routes. No offense to Olivia, but he's obsessed with it. And so when you do get in these situations where you do get hurt and you can't go do all that stuff, at least he's put the work in before. So that stuff does come back fast. But, I mean, he understands what it takes to play in this game, especially at the level he does. And Not many people play at that level unless they are like that.
I don't know if it's privileged information, but what quarterback would you say you've had who was as close to being a peer with you as far as the mastery of the offense?
Guys who aren't very good at playing.
Okay, so who are those guys?
I can't say those guys. Whenever a guy comes out the field and they want to talk like a coach, usually they're saying what they think you want to hear. I mean, you're in the pocket, and that's moving fast. You got to have an understanding and preparation and how to get clues and how to react. But if you come out and you're just talking all coach talk and everything on the field, it usually means you're just guessing and trying to tell a guy what they want to hear. You don't need too much explanation.
Right, but I mean, off the field, as far as when you're talking game plan, you know, it's like, okay, this guy gets it, no?
Brian Greasy, but he could play.
Feels like a compliment.
Yeah, that's a little bit.
Have you ever had a quarterback call plays
I haven't.
preseason?
I haven't. I think
Consideration for that?
no. I would hate to do that to somebody. Like, I'd be, if he really wanted to and stuff, I maybe would let him so he could learn how miserable it is. I couldn't imagine having to think of all that stuff, get people in the right spots, spit the play, think of a play, spit it out, get to the line of scrimmage, and actually think of how to play football. That's playing this game is playing the quarterback position as hard as there anything in sports, and to have to do other stuff to me would make it extremely hard. You better make it they better call it a very simple game. Possibly. I really don't plan it all out. It's not that big of a deal to us.
But this isn't something that you're considering doing in the regular season.
No. Yeah.
You don't feel like you need the preseason reps?
No. It's no. I think I'm all right on it.
How does it benefit Clay?
Just give him that experience. I mean, he did it in high school for a while. He's been here. I've let him do it at practice a lot. Just allowing him to do it in the game is something he's earned. I think it's good for his career. But a lot of guys don't get that before, and they're fine too. So it's more, why wouldn't I do it? Like, what does it affect on the team? And when I was younger, I always felt like it was kind of disrespectful to the players, just in terms of not treating it as important as it can be. That's why I hated doing that. I'd always call it, but then a backup guy would get in the preseason, and now I'm not going to do it. So that always kind of made me insecure just to those guys. I didn't want them to think I wasn't taking it as seriously, but Clay spent so much time with those guys, I don't think they've taken that way at all. So as long as they weren't offended by it and stuff, I think it's been great for him, it's great for everybody, and it's been more relaxing.
Is it important in interviews for him to be able to say that he's had that experience and called those plays?
I wouldn't think so. Depends. I mean, all 32 teams are different, so it depends on the person hiring them. But I wouldn't think so. There's a lot that goes into play calling that's more important, and it's more about how you put in a game plan, how you tie it all together, how you rep it throughout the week. Yeah, there's stuff that you can make a little difference on timing it out right, but anytime you think you've made a great play call, just make a few more and stay humble with it.
Benefit you at all, having had that experience in the regular season where he's now kind of seeing things through a little bit sharper lens as far as how you might be looking at a game?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if anything changes from it, but I wouldn't think so. Clay's had a very good grasp of since he got here. I mean, I put him with D'Amico the first year, and D'Amico was so mad at me when I took him. But I thought he had too much of a future on offense, and we were going to need him there. And he was right. Same thing that I did to him with Bobby Slowick also. But, I mean, Clay's grown up around football a long time. He kind of knows what goes into a play caller's mind, what they think about, and that's why he's been able to help me so much. And, you know, as a head coach, you can't always go through the same routine that, you know, I used to as a coordinator, where I can just shut the door and not worry about anything except the 10 minutes I had to talk to people once a week and kind of just worry about the game plan. And when you're a head coach, you got a few other things you got to do, but you can't let that be an excuse for not being as prepared for the game. And that's why you need people you can count on who can think like you and can prepare when you aren't there. And he's been great at that since he's moved to offense for us. All right, thanks, guys.